Proclamation and Pledge for Gaza, Dhaka 12th of April, 2025. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We begin in the name of Allah, who is Almighty, who establishes justice, who stands with the oppressed, and determines the fate of the oppressors. Today, we, the people of Bangladesh, who know the history of oppression, who carry the consciousness of protest, have gathered to stand with the fearless people of Gaza. Today's gathering is not merely a protest. It is our response before history, a commitment, an oath. From this march and public assembly, we present our demands in 4 levels. Our first demands are to the United Nations and the international community, whereas the United Nations and international community express commitment to protect the rights of all nations to prevent occupation and genocide. And we have seen that the bloodshed and destruction happening daily in Gaza is not the failure of a single government. Rather, it is the result of an international failure. And this failure is not limited to silence. Rather, many nations in the Western power bloc have directly prolonged this genocide by providing weapons, funds, and diplomatic support to Israeli occupation. And this world order has engaged in competition to protect rather than question the Israeli occupation. Therefore, we strongly demand from the United Nations and international community: 1. The trial of Zionist Israel's genocide must be ensured in the international court. 2. Not ceasefire effective and collective measures must be taken to stop the genocide. 3. Obligation must be created to return lands to pre-1967 boundaries. 4. East Jerusalem must be internationally recognized as the capital of the Palestinian state. 5. The path for Palestinian self-determination, security, and state sovereignty must be opened. Because at this moment the world order wears a mask of justice, that mask has fallen off in the ruins of Gaza. Our second demands are to the leaders of the Muslim Ummah. Whereas we believe that Palestine is not merely a piece of land, it is part of the Muslim Ummah's identity. And Gaza is now not just a war-torn city, it is a painful reflection of our collective failure. And upon every member of the Ummah, every state and every leadership is that trust which is bound by the thread of Allah, given brotherhood and responsibility. And Israel is an illegal, occupying, genocidal state, which has deployed all its power to erase the first Qibla of Muslims and the existence of an entire population. And India's Hindutva has now become a representative of the Zionist project in this region, carrying out systematic oppression and persecution against Muslims. And recently in India, through interference in Waqf property law, Muslims' religious and historical rights have been seized, which is a clear warning for the Ummah. Therefore, we strongly call upon the governments of the Muslim world and organizations representing the Muslim Ummah like the OIC. 1. All economic, military, and diplomatic relations with Israel must be immediately severed. 2. Commercial embargoes and sanctions must be imposed against the Zionist state. 3. Must stand with comprehensive support for the oppressed people of Gaza, including medical, food, housing, and defense assistance. 4. Must initiate active diplomatic campaigns to isolate Israel internationally. 5. The OIC and Muslim states must take strong protest and effective diplomatic positions against the deprivation of Muslims' rights under India's Hindutva rule, especially against state aggression such as interference in Waqf law. Because before we become ashamed by the flow of Gaza's blood, standing with Gaza is the only path of honor for the Ummah. And the leadership that remains silent today will be forced to stand in the court of history tomorrow. Our third demands are to the government of Bangladesh. Whereas Bangladesh is a Muslim-majority state, whose very foundation of independent struggle contains the consciousness of resistance against injustice. And we believe that on the question of Palestine, Bangladesh has a historic position not only on the side of humanity, but also on the side of Iman, faith. And as a democratic state, it is the government's responsibility to respect the faithful and moral aspirations of the people. And the people of Bangladesh have made a commitment to stand with Gaza. Thus, silence at the state level would be contempt towards this public aspiration. Therefore, we strongly call upon the government of Bangladesh. 1. The accept Israel condition must be reinstated on Bangladeshi passports, and the position of not recognizing Israel as a state must be expressed more clearly. 2. All agreements made by the government with any Israeli institutions must be canceled. 3. Effective measures must be taken to send aid and medical assistance to Gaza at the state level. 4. Instructions to boycott products of Zionist companies must be issued in all government institutions and import policies. 5. State-level protest must be made against the ongoing persecution of Muslims and other minorities under India's Hindutva government, as Hindutva today is not just a local ideology, but a major servant of the international Zionist bloc. 6. Al-Aqsa, Palestine, and the struggle history of Muslims must be included in textbooks and education policy, so that future Muslim generations grow up with knowledge of their history, heritage, and identity. Because the state is not merely a border, the state is an amana, a trust. And if this amana is not protected, history forgives no one. Our final demands are to ourselves, which is essentially a pledge. Whereas we believe Al-Quds is not just a city, it is part of Iman faith. And we know the liberation of Baitul Maqdis is not in someone else's hands. It will be written by the hands of one of our own generations. And we understand the establishment of Zionism is fundamentally the result of our own self-forgetfulness. And if we do not prepare today, then Allah forbid, tomorrow our children may have such a Bangladesh, where Hindutva and Zionism together will create a new Gaza. And Gaza is a mirror for us, where we see how being a believer means not just surviving, but remaining firm in struggle. Therefore, we, the people of this soil, citizens of this Muslim land, children of this nation, and above all members of the Muslim Ummah, make a pledge. 1. We will spontaneously boycott every product, company, and power that sustains Israel's occupation. 2. We will prepare our society and future generations who will preserve and restore all symbols and signs of Islam and the Muslim Ummah, inshallah. 3. We will raise our children in such a way that they will be ready for the highest sacrifice of life and wealth to protect their ideals and land. 4. We will not be divided because we know it does not take long to occupy a divided people. We will remain united so that this Bangladesh never becomes the next Gaza of any Hindutva project. We will begin from our own homes, language, history, education, culture, economy, society, leaving the mark of this pledge everywhere. We will remember, the martyrs of Gaza do not only want our prayers, they want our preparation. Final words. May peace be upon the honorable residents of Gaza, upon those who have shown unprecedented patience, who have proven unwavering Iman, faith, who have lit the fire of resistance amidst the ruins, who have borne the pain of the world's silence and indifference with smiling faces. May peace be upon those who have left their names in the register of honor. May peace be upon all martyrs, including Hind Rajab, Reem, and Fadi Abu Salah, by whose blood the holy land of Gaza has become even more sacred, in whose eyes was the flame of resistance. May peace be upon the proud residents of Baitul Maqdis, in whose heart still echoes Al-Quds Lana, Al-Quds is ours. Congratulations to the people of Gaza. You have composed an epic on faith, patience, and sacrifice. You have shown the world the power of Iman, faith, and tawakkul, trust in Allah. We, the people of Bangladesh, standing from the land of Shah Jalal and Shariatullah, salute you, express our love and best wishes to your martyrs, and this prayer is uttered in our voices. O Allah, make this brave community of Gaza the stone upon which all the conspiracies of the Zionists will shatter. On behalf of people from all levels of Bangladesh, Palestine Solidarity Movement, Bangladesh.